Tess Roan. I'm going to be presenting a poem entitled Mother to Son by Langston Hughes. Well, son, I'll tell you, life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's had tacks in it and splinters and boards torn up and places with no carpet on the floor, bare. But all the time, I've been climbing on and reaching landings and turning corners and sometimes going in the dark where there ain't been no light. So boy, don't you turn back. Don't you sit down them steps cause you finds it kinda hard. Don't you fall now. For I still going, honey. I still climbing on. And the life for me ain't been no crystal stair. Thank you.
The poem I'm about to recite was written 5 years ago about an Oakland high school senior named Raymond Lamont Justice, who was shot and killed at 17 years old. It is relevant to me because just 3 weeks ago, an Oakland Technical High School freshman named Devon Ellis was shot and killed at 14 years old. My name is Grace Von Brecky. I'm a sophomore at Oakland Technical High School, and I am going to be reciting a poem written by my cousin Lucas Brecky Meisner titled Justice. Justice. Raymond Lamont Justice was my little brother. Will always be. It's hard even to write that he's passed. I've cooped up in midnight mausoleums, but healing isn't really in my vocabulary yet. I don't think some of my students even know what it means. When you grow up in Oakland, there is never really any time to stop and mourn. Suns are always sinking horizontal into the horizons of rolling hills. There's no time to break, no feet to break. We can't look back too long or we will miss the last moments of another's life. The waves are incessant. We try to throw oars to those with fighting chances, but we are left to drag others from the river. On September 21st, we had to drag Raymond from the river. He was so close to escaping the fall, so close to beating the odds, it caught me numb. He wasn't supposed to be next, but he always said he would be. Somehow he knew. Perhaps he had come to peace with it. I have not. I refuse to write Raymond an angelic soliloquy, and I refuse to remember him as an aimless renegade. Neither define him, neither do him justice. Both are too simple. Raymond walked a line between two worlds, straddling his future and his past, trying to parlay his ever-rising GPA into success, but too often baited by his refusal to back down from anything. That bold spirit is what kept him alive so long. It's also what killed him so young. Raymond was Oakland incarnate. He was warring beauty. He was love and light. He was human, not an angel, not a demon. He was 17 and striving, surrounded by the scaffolding of adolescence. Why is it so damn hard for us to protect our children? He was doing so well until he wasn't. Until another friend would get shot and no one could say anything to right it. And yet despite it all, he was full of life. called those close to him his brothers, and told us he loved us at every turn. Had a smile that would creep over his face, slow and mischievous. Beautiful. Not many Oakland males can muster affection, could show love the way Raymond could. Perhaps he knew all too well that his path was all too short to grandstand and pretend, so he was genuine. It was not Raymond's time, but he made the most of the time he had. A friend put it simply, some of us are just more efficient than others. Let us all be so efficient with the time we have, so open with the limbs we hold, and let us all be so quick to say, I love you. I love you, Raymond. We all do and always will. And until we meet again, you are with me, little brother. Amen. Thank you.
My name is Amir Stills Bay, and I'm an 8th grader at Claremont Middle School, and I'll be reciting a poem that I wrote entitled, What They Did to Us.
The police killed us, put us in the back of the bus. I must know it hurt, feeling like dirt. Our people on high alert, blood on an officer's shirt. As they blurt out nigger, pulling the gun trigger. Blood stains only getting bigger. As they end our reign, they try to bend us, but our great leaders start to defend us. We need to become teachers, believers, and achievers, not overseers. Let's not oversee our true potential. Let's go get our credentials. Don't act like you're mental. We all know the things you've been through. Look at it from your own point of view, because I know if I've got it, that you've got it too. Thank you.
Hi, my name is C.R. Smith. I'm going to be reciting the original poem entitled Have We Changed?
Beaten, whipped, stripped, tore down and put on a saddle. Made to work for a man that treats us like cattle. No tattletale would have been helpful in this situation. It just would have led you into a different station. No hell or heaven available for them to put us in, just fighting for a war that seems impossible to win. We'll fight hard and die hard for the next generation. We'll hold them back because we want the young ones in the right placements, but in reality, the war that we'll win will never be won. The victorious ones will stay them because they taught us our ways. The slaves live on. We haven't really changed anything, just the way that things will run. Meanwhile, every owner is running around preparing jails and drugs. For those who'd rather spend time calling each other niggas, bitches, and hoes, we all know that we can't stay contained. It's not their fault that our roots of kings and queens were tamed. No one else is to blame but us, changing the game. So now we're thugs? Robbing, raping, killing our own. Welfare checks are the main things that we own. What land do we come from? Not the motherland that I've known. Home of the brave. More like home of the wimps. Walking around, acting like we're pimps. When will this war end? They're getting stronger with every sin. We're the cattle getting turned into dust. But it's not their fault. In God we trust. No, I blame you, who has no intention to win. Beauty is not on the outside, it is from within. And to all you women out there that think your body is the way to win, it's not. So don't be a pest. What's on the inside will soon undress. And to the rest of you who really don't know, we can create change, because we hold the gold. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Isabel Von Brecke, and I am a senior at Oakland Technical High School. And this is my 13th year participating in this festival. Today I will be reciting a poem entitled Stop the Violence that I wrote myself. Often we think of violence as interpersonal and physical, but it is much more complex than that. There are a couple of words that stood out to me in this definition: intentional power, deprivation, and community. Physical violence is the most well-known form of violence. Murder, gang, genocide, terrorism, and war are 5 manifestations that often come to mind. In Oakland, our friends, neighbors, and classmates are the perpetrators or victims of some of these forms. Sadly, it is not surprising when our brothers or sisters become fallen angels. But why do so many meet such unfortunate fates? We normalize and trivialize Black and brown death, but there are many other forms of violence that create the bloodshed we see nightly. Our lack of quality education is a form of violence as it results in maldevelopment and deprivation. In our schools, the graduation rate of Caucasian males is 74%. And yet, the graduation rate of African American males is 52%. And 54% for our Latino brothers. Why? Some might say, it's because the white kids, they work harder. Black and brown kids need to learn to pull themselves up from their own bootstraps. Well, it's easy to think this when multiple programs have benefited white families. Homestead Act, Head Rights Program, Federal Housing Act, GI Bill, Social Security are the names of a few government programs that have added to the wealth disparity we see today. The success rates of these different groups are byproducts of these programs. On another note, African Americans are 3.5 times more likely to be suspended than whites. Suspensions lead to expulsions. And even those who are not kicked out of our schools are funneled into special education for behavioral issues or relegated into introductory courses. Call it the soft racism of low expectations. Without a quality job, it is extremely difficult to get a good job. No job makes it hard to afford a home. And when you can't afford a home, you're forced to live in an impoverished state. We see this in our city as it has become a fight to stay. We are constantly pushing people out. Aren't the young thugs on the street corners trying to do exactly what the US insists on doing in foreign countries? Aren't turf wars just a way to create and protect a safe haven or home? For the trouble of trying to play the hand that white supremacy has dealt them, police often harass African Americans, which has led to 1 in 3 Black males being incarcerated in their lifetime. 1 in 3. There are more African American men currently incarcerated on probation or on parole than were imported to America during the 1850 slave trade. Violence is not just Black men killing each other on the streets. It's police violence, state violence, economical violence, educational violence. So when I say stop the violence, I mean all forms, everywhere. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Amelia Schreiber. I'm a 6th grader at Claremont Middle School. I'm going to be performing a poem by 3 very inspirational girls, a part of a program called Get Lit, which is based in Los Angeles, promoting teen literacy. Here in America, in every single state, they have a set of standards for every subject, a collection of lessons the teacher is required to teach before the end of the term. But the greatest lessons you ever teach us will not come from your syllabus. The greatest lessons you ever teach us, we will not even remember. You never told us what we weren't allowed to say, We just learned how to hold our tongues. Now somewhere in America there's a child holding a copy of Catcher in the Rye, and there's a child holding a gun. But only one of these things have been banned from their state government. And it's not the one they can rip through flesh. It's the one that says F you on more pages than one. Because we must control what the people say, how they think. And if they want to become the overseer of their own selves, we'll show them a real one. And somewhere in America, there's a child sitting at his mother's computer, reading the home page of the KKK's website. And that's open to the public. But that child will have never read To Kill a Mockingbird because it has been banned for its use of the N-word. Maya Angelou is prohibited because we're not allowed to talk about rape in school. We are taught that just because something happened doesn't mean we are to talk about it. They build us brand new shopping malls so that we'll forget where we're really standing, on the bones of the Hispanics, on the bones of the slaves, on the bones of the Native Americans, on the bones of those who fought just to speak. Transcontinental railroads to Japanese internment camps. There are things missing from our history books. But we are taught that it is better to be silent than to make them uncomfortable. Kids are late to class for working the midnight shift. They give awards for best attendance, but not for keeping your family off the street. These kids will call your music ghetto. They will tell you you don't talk right. Then they'll get in the backseat of a car with all their friends singing about how they're about that life and we can't stop. Somewhere in America, schools are promoting self-confidence while they whip out their scales and shout at your body fat percentage in class, where the heftier girls are hiding away. And the slim fit beauties can't help but giggle with pride. Preppy kids go thrift shopping because they think it sounds fun. But we go because that's all we got money for. Because Mama works for the city. Mama only gets paid once a month. Somewhere in America, a girl is getting felt up by a grown man on the subway. She's still in her school uniform, and that's part of the appeal. It's hard to run in knee socks and Mary Janes, and all her male teachers know it too. What'd you learn in class today? Don't talk loud, don't speak loud. Keep your hands to yourself, keep your head down. Always wear earbuds when you ride the bus alone. If you think someone's following you, pretend you're on the phone. A teacher never fails, only you do. Every state in America. The greatest lessons are the ones you don't remember learning. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Tess Faulkner Kenny. I'm a freshman at Oakland Tech, and this is an excerpt from a speech by Malala Yousafzai. It was presented at the United Nations on July 12th, 2013, on Malala Day, shortly after she received the Nobel Peace Prize at age 17. Dear friends, on the 9th of October 2012, the Taliban shot me on the left side of my forehead. They shot my friends too. They thought that the bullets would silence us, but they failed. And then out of that silence came thousands of voices. The terrorists thought that they would change our aims and stop our ambitions, but nothing changed in my life except this. Weakness, fear, and hopelessness died. Strength, power, and courage was born. I am the same Malala. My dreams are the same. I do not hate the Talib who shot me. Even if there is a gun in my hand and he stands in front of me, I would not shoot him. This is the compassion that I have learned from Muhammad, the Prophet of Mercy, Jesus Christ, and Lord Buddha. This is the legacy of change that I have inherited from Martin Luther King and Nelson Mandela. This is the philosophy of nonviolence that I have learned from Gandhi and Mother Teresa. And this is the forgiveness that I have learned from my mother and father. This is what my soul is telling me. Be peaceful and love everyone. Dear sisters and brothers, we realize the importance of light when we see darkness. We realize the importance of our voices when we are silenced. We realize the importance of pens and books when we see guns. Now it's time to speak up. Our words can change the world. We call upon all communities to ensure freedom and equality for women so that they can flourish. We cannot all succeed if half of us are held back. Dear sisters and brothers, we must not forget that millions of people are suffering from poverty, injustice, and ignorance. We must not forget that millions of children are out of schools. We must not forget that our sisters and brothers are waiting for a bright, peaceful future. So let us wage a global struggle against poverty, illiteracy, and terrorism. And let us pick up our books and pens. They are our most powerful weapons. One child, one teacher, one pen, and one book can change the world. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Taylor Nelson, and I attend 8th grade at Edna Brewer Middle School.
Good evening. My name is Carolyn Nelson, and I attend 6th grade at Edna Brewer Middle School.
We will be reciting a poem entitled Still Life with Police Sirens
by Zora Howard and Joshua Bennett.
Before we are singing, Pac or Prince perhaps, anything unfettered, and tacit reverence on the open road of us, free and forever. Off the cuff, the inside of my daddy's Toyota Corolla becomes a mobile cipher at 50 miles per hour. There's only the melody of this moment and nothing beyond the back seat. I catch an eyeful of him in the rearview mirror. He's seeing me and Omen at the same time. The music breaks into my mother's breath. We are all dead still. I know the drill, the formula. Pulled over by flashing lights, a fear as old as fire and rope. Policemen approach, unsmiling. They too know the history here. The control I do not and never will have over what happens next. Get out the car. Place your hands behind your back. They're looking for 2 suspects in a cream Nissan. A liquor store was robbed just 2 blocks away, and our car isn't cream. Not a Nissan either. This occurs to me only as afterthought. Now I'm focused on the policeman's hands, his impatient gun. The infinity between being here and not, the stories I can no longer keep track of. My father's eyes are not his. They are 2 bloodshot bullets aimed straight ahead. Flash my brother in his back and his brown skin. He doesn't look like a boy anymore, but a black man. Like meat. My father bukes his impatience with a steel jaw. Never let them know what you think of them. I am 18 years old, a dead language, handcuffed to the side of the highway. You are bait. I don't speak. Don't scream. Don't move. Too late. 1 shot, 2 shots. Who shot? Your block. 3 cops, 4 cops. We lock your pops. Your son, your mom. 3 moms, 4 moms, 5 moms, 10 mil. Standard, stay still, dead still. 4 girls, Antil, Oscar, Trayvon, McBride, Sean Bell, unarmed, still killed. Rich folk, sleep well. Them boys, in blue, pull quick, don't think. My scared, my strong, my blink, sun's gone. 1 youth, 2 youth. Our kids,
uncouth, skin brown, face down, hands up, black brute, streets like landmines, black ops, men marked, law frisk, law strike, law stops, leave cars. Tell him, hold him, black boy, doctrine, 5-0, hunt us, targets, practice. Young defenseless, labeled reckless, life begets us, fire won't end us.
Good evening. My name is Jenna Harris, and I'm a junior at Oakland Technical High School.
My name is Lucy, and I'm a sophomore at Oakland Tech.
So we're going to be performing an original poem entitled Like Human.
All of the definitions that you'll hear in this piece were taken straight from Webster's Random House Dictionary.
Black, lacking hue and brightness, absorbing light without reflecting any of the rays composing it.
White, the color of pure snow, reflecting nearly all the rays of sunlight.
By definition, we are opposites on the light spectrum. But our blood and our bones still marches to the beat of an 808 drum.
Like
boom,
like
bap,
like
stomp,
like
clap,
like
this,
like
that,
like
you,
like
me,
like
stuck,
like
free,
like
Emmett,
like
Till,
like
take it like a pill,
like
Martin,
like
King,
like
let freedom ring,
like
Malcolm,
like
X,
like
you could be next, like Rosa,
like
Parks, like we're here to make sparks, like fire,
like
burn,
like
now it's our turn,
like
blink,
like
wink, like you thought we wouldn't learn, like listen. Black, soiled and or stained with dirt.
White, morally right.
You wrote us down on pages of cream, but who are we to live your dusty dream? Like
cloud,
like
nine,
like we all want to shine, like
sun,
like
rain,
like we all have pain, like
gun,
like
shot,
like this is what we're taught, like
Grant,
like
Brown,
like we all know that sound. Like
kids,
like should be afraid to wear their hoods, like
click,
like
bang,
like the whole world saying, like
color,
like
blind,
like it hides within the mind, like my skin should show the whole world is a rainbow. Black, without any moral quality or goodness.
White, without malice, harmless.
This nation is falling apart at its seams. Like Webster, was this really your dream? I'm human.
Like being.
Like you.
Like me.
Like us.
Like we
are human.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Checked Instagram.
Woke up to it.
My notifications.
Is this real? How did this happen?
He didn't deserve it.
Stop joking.
This isn't funny.
I'm gonna call him.
Why is my phone vibrating? Check Instagram. Okay. I expected to see some funny cat video, but I cannot believe my eyes. These streams of disbelieving tears are running down my hot cheeks. How? Every tissue is transparent. Just why
him?
I can't even look anymore. Hashtag Vaughn's World.
I woke up to this It's messed up. He's gone off some stupid gun violence. He's gone, but he will never be forgotten. The violence. The violence. The guns.
The guns.
The violence.
The violence. It must stop.
He's gone, but he will never be forgotten. 2/28/15. The world lost a great. Hashtag Vaughn's World.
Standing there, staring at my phone, holding back tears that I never knew would be there. My hands shaking with disbelief. As I look at my phone screen, looking at R.I.P., he couldn't have died.
Couldn't have died.
He was too nice.
Who did this?
He was too young. They killed my friend. He was supposed to be there to the end. The tree has been cut. The roots can't grow. How can our garden flourish? He's gone. He will never be forgotten. Hashtag Vaughn's World.
The blood of our children should not be running these streets.
I wonder if he knew. Davon Ellis. He was a support system. He was the type of person who would piss you off because he was always so goofy. But you couldn't be mad at him for it. It was just him.
I wonder if he knew that Davon Ellis
had the type of personality that could turn your bad days into the best days. He was so nice and positive. Seeing his smile and hearing his laugh would bring light to a dark alley. He was so supportive and funny. He would piss the teacher off just by one joke, but every student in the class would be laughing.
I wonder if he knew.
Davon's favorite color was blue, that he had a scholarship to Monroe, a future. I wonder if he knew that Davon was my first friend. And every time I see him on the morning news, I still see that little first grader with a huge heart from 9 years ago.
Our garden can't flourish being watered with blood. We are all just one bullet away from being a hashtag.
My name is Nadia Brooks,
I'm Soraya Colbert.
I'm Kavion Parker.
and our piece was titled #Von'sWorld.
Thank you.